just this weekend, there was the Fan Festival, where Square Enix announced the name of the next expansion for Final Fantasy XIV. There was a lot of, teasers for what we'd get in it, but amongst other things, we also got Blue Mage, which is apparently coming a lot sooner than that. Already in January, we're supposed to get the job in the game. And initially, everyone was really excited about that. But then the next day, we got more news about the job and how different it would be. And that was met with a lot of backlash. Well, a lot. Well, it's not BlizzCon. This was just the community being kind of split, seemingly half and half. Some people like it, some people hate it, and there's no third option. You're not allowed to pick a neutral stance. Yeah, seriously, I asked on forums, why do you always make polls with just two options? Is there no neutral option? Oh well. To explain this, there's a part of the community who feels that Blue Mage should just be a blue-tinted red mage. Nothing fancy, just a damage dealer who has a few classical Final Fantasy spells. That's just it. No fancy mechanics, just a standard mage. But the rest of the community feels like it'd be a good idea to try something new. So here comes Square, says that the job will be played solo. It won't be allowed in a lot of dungeon roulettes or most of the daily activities. It'll be leveled through soloing, and yeah, that sounds intriguing. It would actually be a flexible job, not forced into a specific role. Tank, healer, damage dealer. But people are quite split on this. People, as said, some people would just want things to stay the same, not experiment. This is a bad idea. We don't like soloing. But then there's people who think it would mix things up and feel like this is a good idea to do it. There's even people who say, oh, I would prefer to solo. I hate queuing up for dungeons, waiting for hours, so yeah, give it to me. Now, personally, of course, when I first heard about Blue Mage, I was super excited. Then the reveal came about it being a solo job, and I became more neutral. Because, on the one hand, I do solo content. I do quests, I do B-Stripe quests daily, I do all that sort of stuff. So I don't have a doubt that I could use Blue Mage. I would have usage for it. But I just have my concerns if beyond leveling it would be good for anything. I mean, I'll have it max level, and then what use would I have for it? Dungeons, raids, or anything? That would I be locked out of it? And of course, some people say that makes the job completely useless. It would be just side content. Oh, we don't want that. And of course, there's people who are okay with that. But in all honesty, the job has not come out yet. We don't know the details of what it will be like, how it will feel. And no matter what we get, there would always be the possibility that it would change. I mean, this is a pretty flexible game. Certain jobs have changed immensely over the years. So, the way I see it, there's 4 possible ways this job could possibly turn out. The first one, it gets made, proves to be good, fun, many people will play it, And that opens the door for more flexible jobs like this that could come out. Square did say that for example, Beastmaster was one job that they had trouble fitting in, and this, or Puppet Master, those would potentially have room for existence if such flexible jobs were allowed to be put into the game. So that's a good result. Then we have the second thing. It gets made, but the route that they planned isn't exactly it. People want to use it in dungeons, so they invent some sort of system. For example, you could set up what sort of Blue Mage you currently want to be. A tank, a healer, a DPS, and that would restrict which Blue Mage abilities you currently have, which you currently can equip, so that you certainly are set to fulfill the role given to you, enter the dungeon. Who knows, maybe it would even be like whichever abilities you equip dictate what role you are. It could work like that. Then, well, because I mean, in general, I have trouble believing that the job would not be allowed in dungeons. Like, never. At some point, it would have to be allowed into them, and incorporating such systems would allow for that. Or who knows, maybe just a dumb system where when queuing up for a dungeon, you're automatically given a set abilities or stuff to fulfill that role. But okay, that's the second option, so still good, but tweaked to fit along the rest. Then there's the third option. The whole Blue Mage thing becomes a disaster, and Square does what a part of the community wanted. Blue Mage becomes a blue-tinted red mage, basically. Basically the same standard, nothing new, and we get no more flexible jobs after that. Which, yeah, a part of the community would be happy with that. And who knows, maybe in the long run, that would be a good thing. I mean, if it would truly prove to be bad, nobody would play it, then yeah, maybe that would be a good idea. And then there's the fourth option. Blue Mage proves to be bad, stays that way, and nobody really will play it. Which sucks, that's kind of regrettable. But in a way, that's not really so bad. There's jobs that people play a lot less than others, and I don't really hear people talk about like, we should remove Machinist because not that many people play it. No, Machinist stays, people can play it. Or what about content like Diadem? Not that many people play it, but yeah, let it stay in, whatever. If anyone wishes to play it, so be it. So, in my opinion, even if it would be some niche job that only very few people played, it wouldn't be for the masses, it wouldn't be used for raids, dungeons, everything would be messed up. I still feel like there's a place for that. Let's add content for players who want something else, and maybe it'll be a disaster, maybe barely anyone will play it, but whatever. That doesn't matter. That's not the worst thing, that's not a game killer, that doesn't matter. In any case, I'm definitely against the people who are boycotting this thing. They want Blue Mage to be removed or at least changed. No, we want a second Red Mage. That's not the right approach to take. I feel like we need experimentation. Square Enix wants to try this thing out, and I'm totally approving of them trying out. Even if this is not exactly what I wanted, I'm kind of concerned myself, but I'm all for giving it a try. I'm cautiously optimistic. I mean, I'm kind of not sure if this is exactly the right direction, but I'm pretty sure they would tweak it. This is an experiment. They'll change things as they go. So yeah, basically just I'm not hating on Blue Mage. I'm intrigued. I feel like there's a lot of potential to have with the job the way it sounds like. I'm almost certain that it could be tweaked into something fun, and even if there's a bunch of haters out there who don't like this direction, well, there's always odds that you'll get your way if it'll truly be a bad thing. Just you'll have to wait a bit longer until the square decides to take that route. So basically, yeah, that's what I wanted to say. Even if you are not happy with Blue Mage, I see good odds that if it would truly be a failure, a bad idea, then things would get tweaked in the end. So who knows? Maybe Blue Mage will be this weird, bizarre, abstract concept only for like a year before it gets turned into a regular red mage. And if that's the case, then well, me and several other players will have a year of time to play with Blue Mage in this fun little, neat, different play style. If you don't want that, that's fine. That's fine. That's basically all I wanted to say. I'm cautiously optimistic. It might be fun. And if it won't be, then it'll either get tweaked or I'll stick with White Mage. I'm happy that we actually got Blue Mage, that we're getting Blue Mage. I hope that people will give it a chance, and if it won't be fun, then oh well, too bad. Doesn't matter, that's not the worst thing. Well then, thanks for listening, goodbye.